Purpose Inspired TV is under construction. During this process, we invite you to step into the journey. By joining our team, you have the chance to shape the very fabric of this channel with your creative ideas and skills. We believe that the true essence of innovation lies in collaboration, and together, we can create something truly extraordinary. We will provide content that ignites your passion, inspires personal growth, and encourages a positive impact on society. Our focus is on delivering shows that are entertaining, thought-provoking, educational, and uplifting. We want to hear your voice, your vision, and your recommendations for individuals you would love to see on our channel. We aim to create a channel that resonates deeply with viewers, challenging them to think bigger, dream bolder, and live a life of purpose. So, join us today, and together, we can make a difference, one viewer, one show, and one purpose at a time.
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Well, my tune to my Duval song. I suppose I'll record it by now. I haven't got around to the goings on in Duval. So how's everything going? So, I was thinking about it. It's summertime. What are y'all doing for the summer? What kind of trips are you taking? Are you taking the family? So this the channel, and I like to teach about helping people find their purpose. It's all about helping people find their purpose, and part of your purpose is helping raising a healthy family. So you got that, what they say, that work life and family life balance. You got to have that balance. So part of the balance is spending time with your family, even remembering things. So tonight I just want to talk about different stories of growing up as a kid. So I would like people to tune in, to text, even join in the conversation about some of your summertime memories. See, I am not originally from Florida. I've been here a long time, but I was born in New Jersey, Plainfield, New Jersey, but I was raised in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. And there's no mountains nowhere near Rocky Mount. A lot of times I tell people that I'm from Rocky Mount. They was like, okay, yeah, I enjoy the mountains. And there's no mountains there. I think I saw a documentary one time about some Native Americans gathered a mound of rocks near the river. I guess that to remind them, where the place is or something. So that's where somewhere it came from, piling some rocks together on a mound. So that was Rocky Mount, not Rocky Mountains. No mountains. So I grew up in the 70s and 80s, and a lot of people who are from the 70s, 80s, and probably even the 90s is very different from here 2024 going on 2025. Very different back then. I was going to make a list of different things that we did differently, but one of them, I think that one of the obvious things is going outside. People got a comment, I'm outside. Yeah. If you didn't have summer school or something to get into, number one thing you would do is go outside, and you will stay outside. Your mama would say, "You're not coming in and out of the house. Go out and don't come back in until I call you." Yes, you got put out. Couldn't come in and out, especially when I'm about to say, yeah, during the school year it was like on Saturdays, but during the summer, every day except for Sunday, you getting out. You got to go outside and you can't come back in. So I hear a lot of kids, they got all this technology and all these toys, get piles and piles of gifts and things at Christmas time, and then you try to spend some time with them. They're talking about they're bored. I got put out. It had very little toys, but what I did have was my imagination. Yep, I had my imagination. So went outside. I just made up stuff. One of the favorite spots in my backyard when I couldn't leave the yard. You go outside and you stand in the yard. I had to make do. So I made like a little racetrack. I had some little toys, little cars. So in the dirt, I made like a racetrack or a whole little city with the stop lights and stop signs. I put sticks and everything out there. You want no toys. You use your imagination. You went and found the stuff in the yard to make the things that you wanted. So I had my little city, and I would drive through the city. I need stop lights. I have a stick and use some twigs and different things, and we'll make my road. I have this play driving around my little town in the dirt. Or my other spot was climbing a tree. I used to try to climb as high as I could go without the branches breaking off. I would be seriously way up in the tree. And another spot was we had this big bush, and I don't know if I did it, but it was like a little opening, and I would get down under in this bush, and that would be like, that's my hideout, hanging out in that bush. So just all these, different things using your imagination instead of, did not have all this technology. We had a few toys, but like, I guess my little first video game really wasn't a video game. It was a little handheld thing you put water in. You push the button, 2 fingers, and it would just squirt some water up, squirt air up, and the ball would go into the hoop. That was my video game. It was like not all this stuff we got nowadays. And yeah, I think in the early 80s I remember getting cable and having the one pay-per-view, pay channel, that first HBO. I think Popeye, that Popeye movie was the first movie I saw up there. But anyway, we had that thing like Pong, I think. But anyway, but we really didn't have a whole lot of all this stuff like I said, like the kids have these days. So I don't remember ever saying I was bored. I got kicked out the backyard. I'm looking around and I'm going to find something to get into. But sometimes I got too carried away. We got some stories on how I caught the backyard on fire one time playing with fire. That's for another day. But another one of my that I put down hiding. Got thirsty. Still couldn't go in the house. Some of y'all know what you had to do. Go and cut that water hose on. You drunk as much water as you want out of the water hose. When you got finished, you cut it off. Couldn't go back in the house for nothing. So the water hose. Then eventually I got to the age, I'm not even sure what the age was. Man, I didn't even think about this, how old I was. I know I didn't really have a bike until I met my cousins. And they were, so let's just say I'm like 11, 12, maybe 13 when my cousins came to town. So I was already getting into different things. I think I was able to walk to different places. I walked to the park. There was a park nearby that had a little a creek. I would be all day in that creek catching tadpoles and stuff. I didn't hurt them like some people kill the tadpole. I wouldn't hurt them. I would collect them. And then one time I collected a bunch of earthworms and put them in a jar. That was dumb. Like 2 days later, I just had a jar of mush. They couldn't breathe. It was disgusting. So I apologize for killing all those worms. But like I said, just finding things to have fun. I think my cousins moved to town. I think before they moved to town, I used to go to the battle park. That wasn't too far from my house. So that was a river with a dam. So the river went through this park. So it was a bunch of rocks throughout the river. So I would go out there playing in the park, climbing the rocks, kind of like basically doing like mountain climbing on some of the edges of these cliffs and different things. And then, jumping from rock to rock to get to the other side of the river. So just playing around the river, playing in the woods, climbing, just doing everything in the park all day. I don't think I would really. I'd probably get like knee deep or something into the water. That was about it. But then now my cousins, when they came to town, they took me took me to another level. So I started riding. So what they had all these bicycle parts. So if somebody showed up and didn't have a bicycle, they would piece a bike together. So here I showed up, didn't have a bicycle. So they went in the backyard. They had all these bicycle frames and tires and patched tires and all that kind of stuff. And they would go to the bicycle repair store and just get all these parts. So they had all these parts in their backyard. So like I said, when I showed up, don't have a bike? Nope. Okay, pick you out a frame. We picked the frame, found some old tires, put like it was some flat tires. We'll patch the tires up, put the tires on. They would just build a bike, and we'd be on the road. And if it break down, they have some more parts and put the bike back together. There was no brand new bicycles until that time. At one time, somebody in the crew decided to break into the bicycle shop and steal some bikes. I don't know if they want me to tell that story, but that was thankful I wasn't around that time. And my mom showed me the paper. My cousins, their names was in the paper for stealing bikes. And they stole some bikes from the bicycles. I guess they got tired of getting all the bicycle parts. So they went ahead and broke in, got some bikes, brought them back to the house, decided to go back again for the second time, get some more bikes. Then the police followed them home and got them. I don't think they did any, as far as I understand, they didn't do any time. Thank God. But I know I wasn't with them that time. But anyway, that's just another story. But okay, so we rode our bicycles everywhere, and I know if my mom, I think I told her sometime, but if they knew the far places that we rode those bikes, I was everywhere. I was all over the place when I got some wheels. But like I said, most of the time we would spend our days at Battle Park and playing in the river. And I just thought of this other place. We would go to the pool sometime too. The pool was things like 50 cents, 75 cents to get in the pool. Couldn't swim. Still never swim. Couldn't swim at the river. So we would go to the pool sometimes, but we would go to Battle Park. And one thing I don't even know if we had a name for it. Like I said, I think I was adventurous, but when my cousins came and started spending time with my cousins, with three of my cousins, they had me doing stuff even more. So like I said, I don't even know if it's a name for it, where we would get like some plywood. Like today, modern time, it's called a boogie board. It's made out of foam. We would get a piece of plywood and go out there. It would have to be after the rain. So when it wasn't raining, the water would be kind of low and we can walk all across the river, jump rocks and stuff. But when you're after rain, the water would pick up. It'd be like kind of like white rapids a little bit sometimes. But we would take some plywood and put the plywood and just ride the plywood around the river, just bouncing around, getting knocked upside the head with these rocks, and just going all over up and down the river. And then we get to the end where it stopped. The water stopped flowing. We just pick up our board and go back up to the top where it was rough again, and get back up there and do it again. And so it was the water was kind of cool. It felt good, but we didn't really realize the injuries that we was getting until we would get out. I can remember getting out the water one time, and I remember riding home. I was looking at my cousins. I was starting to see drips of blood coming from different spots on their body, and they was looking at me. There were drips of blood coming off of me. It was all these different places that we got you know, we hit rocks and stuff that we didn't feel it when it was in the water. So we had these bumps and bruises all over our 70, our head and everywhere. So we starting to bleed, but it didn't bother us. We had fun, so we just made plans to come back again the next day. So eventually, at one time, I went to the local Piggly Wiggly. The Piggly Wiggly was not too far from my house. So I went to the Piggly Wiggly one time, and I saw they had these inner tubes. There was some black and white inner tubes, just what you're supposed to be using in pools. So I decided, hey, let's go tubing down the river. So I told my cousins, I went and told them that I saw the inner tubes at the Piggly Wiggly. We scraped up our little change, went back to the Piggly Wiggly, and bought all 4 of the inner tubes out of Piggly Wiggly. So then we went on down to the river, rode our bicycles down there, parked and probably thought we tried to hide our bikes. I don't remember locking them up. I remember we used to try to hide them. I remember somebody got us one day because we used to hide our wallets and also wallets and stuff. So one time after having a good old days of fun, we go back to our bikes and our stash. Somebody then got to our stash and stole our wallets. So that was a bad day. You know, we have $2 or $3. But so anyway, so we got the inner tubes. So we go out there to the river, and we're blowing up the inner tubes. You got to blow the inner tubes up before you go. So I can remember one of my cousins, he was just about to turn purple, all the huffing and puffing he was doing. And everybody else pretty much had theirs finished, and he still didn't hardly have any air in his. Couldn't find out it already had a hole in it. So instead of 4 inner tubes, we were down 1. So we felt bad. There was no going back to the store. And I don't even think they had it. I thought it was just 4 in the store. So we didn't even consider like stopping what we were doing and taking it back. You know, we was on bikes. We wasn't in no car. So, okay. So now we need a plan B. So now my cousins, they introduced me to canoodling. I was like, what in the world is canoodling? Yeah, canoodling is what them country boys used to do. So what canoodling is a log. So they said, so we just walking up and down the river and looking for a log, like a tree with no branches or anything. So we found this long log, and I don't know what happened? I was already floating in the river a little bit. So my tube was blown up. I had another cousin. No, we did. We helped push this big old tree into the river. And when it was almost time to go, I got on my tube. Other 2 cousins got on that tube. And it was supposed to be one cousin was going to ride the inner tube, not the inner tube. He was going to ride the big old tree log down the river. So when he pushed it in the river, another cousin got too close, and when the tree bounced into the water, it bumped into his tube and bust his tube. So now we're down 2 tubes. So he had to get off and go. Now it's 2 of them that's got to ride the log down the river. So them 2, they pushed the log in the river, and I must have caught some of the water, some of the, some of the current. So the river started taking me downstream. So I'm floating on around, and I looked back because I thought they was like coming. So I ended up, okay, they right behind me. So I just kept on going, and I never saw them. So I don't went around a bend, and I'm floating down the river. I'm like, okay, I'm in the river, floating down the river. Can't swim. I'm by myself on this inner tube, floating down the river, in the middle of this big old river, by myself. And I kept looking back. I never did see my cousins. So I'm floating and floating and floating, looking back, where in the world are my cousins at? And I'm going, it's like, so I really don't know what to do. You can't really go backwards because the water, the river's flowing. It's got you going one way. And you can't, it was a lot of places where I couldn't stop. It was like nowhere for me to stop because of it was no banks or anything. So I'm just going. I kept on looking back and like, they should be coming. Where are my cousins? So I'm not sure how long I floated. So now I'm starting to get nervous. I'm like, I done floated a long time. I haven't seen anybody. I didn't even plan. We planned on getting on the tubes. We didn't have a plan for getting off the tubes. That's how young people do. They don't think that far. I just thought about, yeah, let's get in the river and float down the river, and then what? I don't know. So I'm floating, and now I'm floating for so long. I don't think it's that long, but it seemed like a eternity because I was by myself. And I was like, what happens if I keep floating down this river? I'm going to end up in the Atlantic Ocean. That's not good. So yeah, I'm working up, getting myself, now I'm getting afraid. Like, oh no, I got to get out of this river. So I'm still going, trying to figure out how to even get out. So now I'm determined, if I just stroke, I can guide myself to the edge. But now I need to find a good spot to even stop. But sometimes there was like these wooden things that's all the way down. Like some of the part, it was a steep hill. So they got these ladders, these wooden steps going all the way down the hill, and like a deck. Yeah, it was a deck where some people could come down and go fishing. So that's what I was looking for. Is okay, I'm gonna keep on floating till I get to one of those things. And then I saw one coming up, and I pushed myself over until the water would have pushed me up against the deck. I could have held onto the deck and basically pull myself up out the water. So that was my plan. So I'm seeing the deck coming up. So I'm stroking, getting over there, getting closer to the deck. And then when I get ready to grab a hold to the deck, there was a neighborhood snake sitting over there on the edge. So I was in panic mode, trying to reverse, just start stroking, getting away, trying to get away from the edge. So now I went past that stopping point. So now I'm back in the river again, floating on down the river. Still don't see my cousins. So I'm floating now. I'm really getting nervous. I done missed my stopping point. Now I'm thinking like, hey, what if I get off? It might be more snakes. So I'm floating, but knowing I got to stop because I didn't want to end up in the ocean. So I finally got up the nerve to try it again. And I think I saw a spot to where I can get off. I think I saw a path or something that if I pull off to the edge, I can just pull myself up out the water and climb up the hill, and get back up. I'm not even sure how many feet down I was. Let's just guess and say 50, 75 feet from below. Like the river was down here, and it was a pavement and stuff on top of this hill. So I had to get out the river and climb up the hill to get back to the top. And this time there's probably no steps or anything. So anyway, eventually I got the nerves to try it again. I stroked, make myself get to the edge. Got out of, the river from pushing. So I got out of the river, climbed up the hill, and I still don't see my cousins. So I climb up, made it to the top of the hill, and I'm starting to walk back to where we started. As I'm walking back, I'm looking down in the river, looking for my cousins. And finally, I did. I found there was one cousin on the tube, two cousins on a canoe. So I ran down, we found a meeting spot, and I told them about the snake. So we got a spot for them to stop. So the guy on the tube, he pulled over, and then you pretty much, when you done with your I think I told you it was a canoe, you just jump off of it, let the tree keep on floating down the river. You get off, go back to the top, get it again. So that's what they did. We caught up with each other. One guy got out with the tube, and the other two cousins, they get off the canoe and they climb up the hill. So now I'm asking them, what happened? What took y'all so long? I'm telling them my adventures of what, how I was afraid that I was end up in the Atlantic Ocean and all that. So I'm telling them what was going on with me. And then they started telling me what happened with them. So what happened was, you remember I told you the two cousins were getting on this big gigantic tree. So it was an old tree, so there was no limbs or anything. It was an old tree that had been laying there for probably years. So they had pushed it over into the river, and both of them jumped down and started to float down the river. But as they're floating down the river, the people who lives inside the tree decided to come out. There was a bunch of carpenter ants. You know those big, juicy, fat ants? Yeah. Imagine thousands of them coming up out the log as they floating on the log going down the river. So they had to abandon ship. So they had to jump off because this log was loaded down with those ants. So I guess when they put it in the water, all that water disturbed the fire. Not fire. They would have been in bad shape with fire ants, but it was carpenter ants. So they disturbed the carpenter ants' house. So they had to jump off pretty much as soon as they started and climb out the river and go find another canoodle. So while all this is going on, I'm floating down the river waiting on them. So they had to walk around, keep looking until they found another tree, canoodle, to get on, push that in the river. They jumped on and rowed their canoodle down the river while I'm way ahead of them, risking my life with these snakes. So that was it. So they rowed the canoodle, got out the river. We enjoyed it. Nobody died. Nobody drowned. So we just went back to the top and did it all over again. I think we probably did it 2 or 3 times. So that was our day. So we probably tired after 2 or 3 times, and it was probably getting late. We thought it was probably time to go home and find something to eat. So that was that day. So that was the thing. So sometimes we would go out there when it was after a rainstorm, so the whole park would practically be flooded. So we'd be riding around and splashing in water, or the water would be like rapids. I remember a couple of times where I know at least one cousin almost drowned just by trying to we finished playing. We wasn't in the water where it was all rough at, but we were somewhere where the water was calm, and we had sand and everything in our shoes. So we went over where the water was rough, and my cousin had stuck his shoe in the water to get the water to wash the sand out, but the water was so rough, it took his shoe, and the shoe took off and landed like it was a tree branch that was nearby. So he decided to reach over there to get his shoe, but that water got him and started taking him down the river. But thankfully, it was so flooded out there was a lot of trees. So it pretty much pushed him up probably to another tree. And by the time he got in good, we was getting him out. So that wasn't that bad, but we knew that water was rough. So we tried to stay away from it when it got that rough. But so like I said, that's some of the adventures that I would have out there. But here's one where just about every time I would have a friend or something, I would introduce them or take them to the park. So I got a story that I decided to I videotaped this, I think, back in 2015. So I'm going to show you this video, and then we can talk to anybody else got any stories to join in with any kind of summer fun that you had. Join in. So I'm going to add this story to the screen. This is on my Little Joe's Crazy Adventure page. You can tell I barely have any kind of subscribers, anything. I haven't pushed it at all, but this video has been up there since, what you see, all these years. It's 8 years ago. Well, yeah, I've been 8 years. But I haven't pushed this page. But here's from Little Joe's Crazy Adventure page. Let's see. Let's hopefully this thing play all right. So here's one of the adventures when I took some kids out to my favorite park. It's that time again for Little Joe's Crazy Adventures. Man, I got a story for you today. The story takes place here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina at Battle Park on the Tar River. I'm recording video to tell you the story that happened like almost 30 years ago, but I became part of the story. I almost died trying to film this for you. Okay, so watch the story to the end as I tell you what happened back in the 70s, early 80s. And then while I was trying to record this story, this is what happened to me 2015 in June. Okay, get ready for Little Joe's Crazy Adventures.
Now it's time for Little Joe's Crazy Adventures. Wild and crazy stories of Little Joe's 9 lives.
All right. Okay, while I still got you here, on snow day, that's why I still got my cold hat I wore at the New York Super Bowl. Yeah, that's cool right there. Anyway, yeah, I'm here by myself. I'm the cameraman, doing all this, whatever. Oh, look at that. That is. I'm not having my hair done like that. Anyway, all right, since it's pretty cool though. All right, we're talking about let me see. This story I'm going to tell you about, since I just brought up my cousin Barney in the last story. Just real quick, tell you a story. There was this park, Battle Park. I used to walk down there, ride my bicycle down there, play it all the time. It's like, if you're not familiar, so Tar River runs through our city, and it's a park. It's a small dam and a big old park with a lot of rocks. So I used to spend a lot of time going down there, riding my bike, and so I got a lot of stories up there where I could have and should have died out there. I used to like to go out there and just jump on a rock. You just jump on a rock and rock till you get to the other side of the river, do whatever, play around, and then you jump on a rock, get back. So that's, just spend a half a day, all day out there playing. Even played in the water. Couldn't swim, but we was always in that water playing around like we could swim, but we couldn't swim. So, okay, here we go. I'm deciding to take my cousin Barney and his two friends out to Battle Park for the first time. I might have taken Barney, but I know these other two brothers, they'd never been there before. So let's say they're probably 10, 11, 12, pretty young. And I'm about 16. Yeah, probably 15, 16. I don't think I was driving yet. Anyway, that doesn't matter. Okay, I'm taking them to Battle Park for the first time. They never experienced it. So we put our bikes up and I'm showing them how to, jump from rock to rock to get across the river. At first they're kind of nervous. They never did it before. So they starting to get used to it and, everything's cool. Then we come to this big part. It's like in the middle of the river. So we're trying to get to the other side of the river. But in the middle of the river, there's these two big rocks. And on our way, of course, you got to go between these two rocks. And between the two rocks is a lot of water gushing fast between the two rocks. You can hear the water gushing, for a long ways. The water is gushing. So basically, we have to, on one rock, we have to jump from this rock down to this rock over the water. So as we go, I go first. I'm talking to him, trying to give him confidence. I was like, okay, so all you got to do is say you're going to make it, you're going to make it. That's all you got to do. Just say you're going to make it, you're going to make it. So I go, I run. It wasn't that big of a gap. But if you're afraid of water and can't swim, yes, it's like a Grand Canyon. So I go up to it. I say, I'm going to make it. And I run, jump, and I make it. Get to my cousin Barney. I was like, okay, say you're going to make it. I'm going to make it. He runs, jumps, he makes it. Second brother, say you're going to make it. I'm going to make it. He runs, he jumps, he makes it. Now the last guy, he is very scared. He is shaking in his shoes. He is afraid. So we are yelling and screaming, come on, you can do it, you can do it. Just run and say you're going to make it and you're going to make it. We did it, just run, and we just egging them on. Come on, come on, come on. You can make it, just say you're going to make it. And he run up and stopped, no, I can't make it. Come on, don't say you're not going to make it. So finally, he got the nerves up and runs, I'm going to make it. He runs, he jumps through the air and lands over there, he made it. So we pat him on the back, oh, good job, you made it, you made it, you made it. So we go to the other side of the river, have a good time. Just, I don't, spend 30 minutes, an hour over there, all over up in the woods and different things. So now when it's time to leave, the only way to get back from the other side of the river is the same way we came. So we go back, we make our way back to that same point. And as usual, well, like we did before, I get up to it. And I'm just saying, I was a little bit nervous. I was used to it, but I was still nervous. If you slip and hit that water, you're going down the river. So I go up, I say, I'm going to make it. I run, jump, I make it. Then they looking at the water again. I talk to my cousin. Say you're going to make it. I'm going to make it. He runs, he jumps, he makes it. It's your second brother. He looks at it. I don't know. So anyway, we yelled and screamed at him, say you're gonna make it, say you're gonna make it. All right, I'm gonna make it. He runs and he jumps, he makes it. Now we're back to the one that was very scared. He was scared and he's even more afraid this time. So we tell him, say you're gonna make it, say you're gonna make it. Come on, you can do it, you can do it. He's like, no, I ain't gonna make it, I ain't gonna make it. No, don't say that. You gotta believe. Say you're gonna make it, say you're gonna make it. I can't make it. Come on, you gotta make it. So we scream, there's no other way. You gotta come on, you're gonna make it. Just say you're gonna make it. So he's like, I ain't gonna make it. Come on, say you're gonna make it. So he runs, I'm gonna make it. And when he gets to the middle of the air, I ain't gonna make it. And he's in the middle of the air, see, I can see it in slow motion. As he's saying, I ain't gonna make it, he went down like a rock and hit that water. He was going down the river. He was gone. I was like, oh my Lord. So the two brothers take off. We had to run real quick. And I started running. I'm like, as I'm running, I'm trying to make my life, I'm making it right with the Lord. Because it's like, what's going through my head? I cannot go home and tell his mama he died in the river, drowned in the river, out there playing with me because of me. I couldn't do it. So I decided right then, I'd rather die trying to save this kid than go home and tell his mama that. So that's what I'm thinking going down the river running. I was like, Lord, this might be my last day here. I can't go home without him. So I'm running down the side of the river and we stand there yelling and screaming. Nobody could swim. I couldn't swim. So I'm like, I got to get out there. So we running down the river. He's going on down the river. So I'm running trying to get ahead of him. So I got ahead of him and went on out there in the water. And thank the Lord, he ended up where I was. I grabbed him and pulled him on out the water. So, pretty much saved his life, but I caused him to risk his life. But that was a happy, grateful, thankful day. That's one of my many 9 lives where I should have been dead, and the Lord protected me and him and all of us that day. So anyway, after we gathered ourselves and got past all of the stress that we just went through, we calmed him down and we went on, kept on going, playing in the river for the rest of the day. That was a good day. Good day to be alive. Hope you enjoyed. Tune in again next week. Same place, same time. Now I don't know when it's going to come on again, but see you again. Peace. God bless. Peace. God bless. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that story. Thank God we didn't die that day. Nobody died. I didn't have to tell anybody that their son died. But when I'm doing these stories, I like to try to use real footage, my own footage, and try to go back to the scene of the crime. So that's what I did. And this footage, all the footage that you saw was from Battle Park here in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Yes, I live in Florida now, so I had to come all the way here when I was visiting. So anyway, coming up next is what happened to me when I was trying to shoot this. This is actual footage. Nothing was changed. It's kind of funny, but like I said, I'm not dead, so it's funny. If I died, it would have been a tragedy. Yes, what a tragedy. Anyway, thank the Lord. He protected me and watched out for me. Okay, this is what happened trying to film the footage for this story. thanks again for watching. Be on the lookout for more Lil Joe's Crazy Adventures. God bless. See you next time. All righty. Let me hit. Sorry about that. Man, my heart started pounding, started beating real hard when I got close to that river again. It brought back memories. So what happened, I was trying to film when I was telling the story about how the water was rushing, I wanted to add some footage in the story. So when I saw like, yeah, that's a good spot where the water's coming in. So I got a shot, but then I think, well, I want to get a closer shot. I needed more realistic. So I got closer, but I don't know if you saw right before I fell in, you can see the wet spot probably where I stepped in. I stepped on it, and all I remember was like, why is the ground moving? And then the next thing I remember was like, I don't feel my feet are not on the ground anymore. And I looked up, water was above my head. I was like, I'm underwater. I done fell in. But I didn't panic. So again, I got there's another one of those adventures that I went through. So even as in my adults, I was still going through these adventures. So I used to say I got 9 lives, so different things I went through and survived. So God's been good to me. God's been looking out for me. So that's some of my adventures. That's some of the stuff that I used to do as a child. So it's about family and purpose and having fun and living and surviving. So what are some of the things that you used to do? So I'm going to be looking for comments, and I want to hear different stories of people telling different things, especially crazy things. Did anybody do things that was more crazy than us? Because we really did some wild things. I'm telling you, we stayed out of trouble. We wasn't like stealing, fighting, those kind of things. We wasn't doing any of those things. We're out having fun, having a good time in the woods, not bothering nobody. Nobody was getting hurt. We was risking ourselves getting hurt, but yeah, we wasn't causing harm, wasn't vandalizing anything. Well, it was yeah, we didn't. No, I just thought about some things that we did, but it wasn't vandalizing. So, but we did. We had fun. We didn't have much money, so we made do with what we had. So that's what I'm talking about. Purpose, having fun, spending quality time with your family, even if you don't have don't have much money. Take your family somewhere local. It's probably, I can guarantee you, it's 10 things that's fun to do that you've never seen before in your own town. I guarantee, I challenge you. It doesn't even matter how small your town is. It's probably 10. Okay, I say 5. Okay, at least 5. There's 5 things that's in your town that's probably 5-10 minutes away from your house that you have never seen. You've never been there before. It's probably a park. It's probably a museum. It's probably some historical, something historical. This stuff could be right under your nose. Something you drove past and you didn't even turn your head and look left. You passed all your life. I guarantee you, it's something in your town, and I would challenge you to find it. I would go out and find those things that's right in your town, in your neighborhood, and I guarantee you have fun. And it probably will not cost you anything to go spend a couple of hours there, even spend a day there. Right. Go ahead, try it. Remember, even here in Jacksonville, I used to ride my bike a lot all over the place. I used to always try to find a trail, and one day I stumbled across Kingsley Plantation. It's here in Jacksonville. And I used to, I parked my car way on the main road. I don't know if anybody ever been there before. It's a long, I mean, a long dirt road before you finally get to the plantation. So what I would do, I would park my car like a couple of miles away with my truck. I would park my truck a couple of miles away, get on my bicycle, and ride my bicycle down on A1A, and then get on the dirt road and ride all the way down the dirt road, go to Kingsley Plantation. And I would try to imagine, like, I can't imagine a slave trying to walk through that woods. Imagine if that road wasn't there. And it wasn't there back during the slavery times. The transportation was through the river. You had to catch the boat to the plantation. But that bicycle ride is so long. And you're going through the woods and the creek and the river and all sorts of stuff. And I was okay. But I said, get slaves wouldn't try to run through that, especially at night. No way, no how. But yeah, so we started visiting and taking people to Kingsley Plantation, and I found out there's a lot of people from Jacksonville that have lived here 30, 40 years, have never heard of Kingsley Plantation and never been there. So it's so many things that I believe is right under your nose and don't cost you anything. Just to go to Kingsley Plantation here in Jacksonville just is a car ride. So just cost you a couple of dollars in gas to get up there. There's no fee to get in. So it's probably a lot of things in your town. Take your kids, especially if you got some time. Let's think Saturday, Sunday afternoon. You got some spare time. Take your kids to somewhere that's free. These kids, this could be memories. So it's part of life. Build a memory. It doesn't always take a lot of money to have a good time, especially with your kids. It doesn't take a lot. Just getting in the car, going somewhere is an adventure. Just going. I don't know if we still got it here. We used to, like the land. Every summer I would get a niece or my nephews or some kids or something, and I would take them. If I didn't have a lot of time, I would take them to the landing. Well, rest in peace, Landon. Our landing is gone. But it was a water park. It was a water fountain where they shot water up out the ground. I would take them out there. They could spend an hour playing in the water, and then sometimes they would be playing music out there. So while I'm listening to jazz, the kids are playing in the water. And as far as they're concerned, they spent the day at the water park, and it didn't cost you anything. So you don't always have to spend a whole lot of money to have a good time with your family. So just think about that. So I challenge you to find at least 5 new things in your town, no matter where you are. I'm challenging you. So if you can come back, I'm guaranteeing it. How can I guarantee you? I'll give you a Purpose Inspired TV t-shirt if you can't find 5 things in your town, and then I'll probably get on Google and find 5 things. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put an offer up. So people watch this show, the first 3 people that will go searching in their town and find that go searching in their town and find 5 new things they have never seen before, and they put it on. Let's say, let's put it on Purpose Inspired TV, our Facebook page. So this show is going to be, we're going to add on Purpose Inspired TV. That's on Roku and Fire TV. But if you go to our Facebook page, put up there, I found these 5 new places in my city. If you put that post on Purpose Inspired TV Facebook page, or even inbox me, I will send you out a Purpose Inspired TV shirt. I think I got one right now around me. But anyway, so what you think? Is anybody? I see a comment. Let me go to the comments, see if anybody, y'all got some summertime fun stories. Yo, Mr. Hampton. Yo, how y'all doing? What's up, dude? Y'all got any stories to tell from when y'all was a kid growing up? I don't know if y'all got it. Is it anything? I don't know if it's anything crazy like what I went through, but I got any comments, or we just I'm going to hear from y'all later. Any comments? Come on. I want to hear some of y'all's stories. I want to hear some stories that's crazier than my stories. Nope. Okay. Where's my? I'm sorry, I keep looking. I don't know how long I've been on. As I was looking for the clock. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So that I was. I got like with my sister. I see my sister up here. I used to bring my sister here every summer. And one time, it's this here in Jacksonville. It's called Adventure Landing. Wild Adventure is a park that's over in Valdosta. So what I would do, I would take my SUV, cram it full of kids, and I'll make a bunch of sandwiches and put some sodas on ice and take them to Adventure Landing. So the price of getting into Disney World for one person, I could pay for a whole carload of kids at Wild Adventures in Valdosta. So that's I would love. So they didn't know the difference. It was a park with roller coasters and different things, and it had a water park. So we would have a good time. So I was every summer, probably a couple times a summer, I was loading up my truck, taking kids over there. But when my sister came to town, I would take her to Adventure Landing. So sometimes like we get a little cheap. So I paid for us to get in, and I see people with all their clothes and stuff under their seats. So I decided, to not get a locker. My sister had a little more wisdom. She told me to get a locker, and I was like, nope, I'm not paying for a locker. I'm just putting my stuff under this seat. So I put it under the seat. We went at the park, had a good time, several hours. Then when it's time to go, I go back to the chair to where I put our clothes and things, and it was all gone. Somebody took all our stuff. They took my clothes, my wallet, the car keys. It just took everything. So now the water park is closed. Now she's sitting in there in her bathing suit. I'm out there in my swim trunks with no clothes, no shoes, no shirt. For now it's getting dark. Now, the park is closed. Everybody then got dressed and left. We're still standing there. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I had to call the police, file a police report, I think. Yeah. Then I had to call a friend, I don't know how anyway, had to call a friend to come and pick me up and pick both of us up, take us home. Then the next day I had to get a key made. But my sister gave me some wisdom. She told me to get a locker, and I didn't get the locker. So I had to pay the price. So now, if I don't have somebody just sitting there at a chair, I go ahead and pay for the locker. I learned my lesson. So I said, adult can still learn from the youth. It's the things that you can learn. Okay. And anybody, I'm going to think of another story before I thought I was going to get some people be telling me their stories of different things that they've been through. So I can remember that one time when I took all the kids to Adventure Landing. No, that was Wild Adventure. Took them all to Wild Adventure. Georgia, that's in South Georgia. Man, we after we was having a good time. Yeah, first it was so hot out there that we decided to stop riding the rides. We decided to go to the water park because it had been more than 100 degrees. So we was cooking out there. But it was so many people in the water park that we had to stand in line to get into the water park. So we are out there burning up, feet burning. The kids were crying and whining. So eventually the people had to take a water hose and spray us with the water hose and spray the ground because our feet was burning. So thankfully they had mercy on us. We was trying to get to the water park. So it was burning up trying to get to the water park. So we finally, after we spent some time over there, it was time, everybody started to get hungry. And I was about to buy food for all these kids at a theme park. So I said, okay, what we're going to do, we're going out to the truck. At the back of the truck, everybody's going to get a sandwich, chips, and a drink and eat that. And then we're going back into the park. So that's what we did. I marched all up, got them all together, marched them all to the back of the truck, started handing out sandwiches and the chips and drinks and stuff. But they had all these gnats. I think it was gnats, either flies or gnats. They was flying all around us, and we was sweeping, swiping and trying to get away from them. But they was on us. They was on us hard. So trying to tell everybody to move away and everything. But it got so bad, and I think one of the girls I had with me, she started crying because it was bothering her so bad. So I said, forget it. Everybody get in. I close up the back of the truck, put all the stuff up, told everybody to jump in. And so I had to jump out, jump and speed away. And I had to open up the windows and get out because the flies and stuff. I think it was, I can't remember which one it was, either gnats or flies. But I think it was those gnats, those biting gnats. So I had to speed off and roll all the windows down and try to, get all the gnats to fly out because they was on it so bad. So we ended up leaving the park early because they started eating us up. So that's a little adventure with the kids. Well, all right. I thank everybody for watching. We're going to be playing this again on Purpose Inspired TV. So I'm going to be looking for some more stories. I want to hear some of the stories of how you grew up, how everything was when you was a kid. All right. I pray a blessing upon everyone. I pray everybody stay safe. I pray blessings upon the kids. I pray a hedge of protection. I've been hearing about a lot of kids, especially little girls, going missing. I need to do a story about that. So if y'all know anything about these girls or people, these kids, these young kids going missing, and it was this one particular town, as a matter of fact. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find that town. They said there was a lot of girls were getting taken, were being kidnapped or something. But anyway, I want to do a story on it, find out why all the kids are getting taken. Where are our kids? Why are so many of our kids going missing? But until then, I pray everybody be blessed and tune in. Purpose Inspired TV on Roku, Purpose Inspired TV on Fire TV, or Purpose Inspired TV on the Facebook, and watch PurposeInspiredTV.com. And if you got any content, you got any shows that you would like to air, you got any content creators that would like to be on Roku, would like to be on Fire TV, let us know. We are looking for you. Okay, everybody, have a blessed night. God bless. LeJoe out.
Purpose Inspired TV is under construction. During this process, we invite you to step into the journey. By joining our team, you have the chance to shape the very fabric of this channel with your creative ideas and skills. We believe that the true essence of innovation lies in collaboration, and together, we can create something truly extraordinary. We will provide content that ignites your passion, inspires personal growth, and encourages a positive impact on society. Our focus is on delivering shows that are entertaining, thought-provoking, educational, and uplifting. We want to hear your voice, your vision, and your recommendations for individuals you would love to see on our channel. We aim to create a channel that resonates deeply with viewers, challenging them to think bigger, dream bolder, and live a life of purpose. So, join us today, and together, we can make a difference, one viewer, one show, and one purpose at a time.